I will read just a couple of lines and then we will continue. Vasudev and Devki were only their official father and mother. Their actual father and mother were Nanda Baba and Yasoda. Therefore, Sukadev Goswami described Lord Krishna as Devki Janmavad. That's where we did yesterday, so we will continue. Sukadev Goswami then glorifies the Lord as one who is honored by the Yaduvar Parishad, the assembly house of the Yadu dynasty, and as the killer of different kind of demons. Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, could have killed all the demons by employing his different material energies. But he wanted to kill them personally. Why? To give them salvation. There was no need of Krishna's coming to this material world to kill the demons. Simply by his willing, many hundreds and thousands of demons could have been killed without his personal endeavor. But actually, he descended for his pure devotees to play as a child with Mother Yasoda and Nand Maharaj and to give pleasure to the inhabitants of Dwarka. By killing the demons and giving protections to the devotees, Lord Krishna established the real religious principle, which is simply love of God. By following the factual religious principle of love of God, even the living entities known as Sthirachar were also delivered of all material contamination and transferred to the spiritual kingdom. Sthira means the trees and plants which cannot move, and Chara means the moving animals, especially the cows. When Krishna was present, he delivered all the trees, monkeys, and other plants and animals who happened to see him and serve him both in Vrindavan and in Dwarka. So Lord Krishna is especially glorified for giving pleasure to the gopis and the queens of Dwarka. Sukadev Goswami glorified Lord Krishna for his enchanting smile, by which he enchanted not only the gopis of Vrindavan, but also the queens of Dwarka. The exact words used in this connection are Vardhayan Kamadevam. In Vrindavan, as the boyfriend of many gopis, and in Dwarka, as the husband of many queens, Krishna increased the lusty desire to enjoy with him. For God realization or self realization, one generally has to undergo severe austerities and penances for many thousands of years. And then it may be possible to realize God. But the gopis and the queens of Dwarka, simply by enhancing their lusty desires to enjoy Krishna as their boyfriend or husband, received the highest type of salvation. This behavior of Lord Krishna with the gopis and queens is unique in the history of self-realization. Usually, people understand that for self-realization, one has to go to the forest or mountains and undergo severe austerities and penances. But the gopis and the queens, simply by being attached to Krishna in conjugal love and enjoying his company in a so-called sensuous life full of luxury and opulence, achieve the highest salvation, which is impossible to achieve even for the great sages and saintly persons. Similarly, demons such as Kamsa, Dantavakra, and Sisupal, who all treated Krishna as an enemy, also got the highest benefit of being transferred to the spiritual world. So, in the beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam, Srila Vyasadeva offered his respectful obeisances to the Supreme Truth, Vasudeva Krishna. After that, he taught his son, Shukadeva Goswami, to preach Srimad Bhagavatam. It is in this connection that Sukadeva Goswami glorifies the Lord with the word Jayati, following in the footsteps of Srila Vyasadeva. Shukadeva Goswami and all the acharyas in disciplic succession, the whole population of the world should glorify Lord Krishna, and for their best interest, they should take to this Krishna conscious movement. The process is easy and helpful. It is simply to chant the Mahamantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Lord Chaitanya has therefore recommended that one be callous to the material ups and downs. Material life is temporary, and so the ups and downs of the life may come and go. Nobody invite the miseries, but it come on its own accord. Similarly, the happiness. When they come, one should be as tolerant as a tree and as humble and meek as a straw in the street. But certainly, he must engage himself in Krishna consciousness by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. The Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, the Supersoul of all living entities, out of his causeless mercy comes down and manifests his different transcendental pastimes in different incarnations. Hearing the attractive pastimes of the Lord Krishna's different incarnation is a chance for liberation for the conditioned soul. And the most fascinating and pleasing activity of the Lord Krishna himself are still more attractive because Lord Krishna personally is all attractive. So following in the holy footstep of Sri Sukadeva Goswami, we have tried to present this book, Krishna, for being read and heard by the conditioned soul of this age. By hearing the pastimes of Lord Krishna, one is sure and certain to get salvation and be transferred back home, back to Godhead. It is stated by Sukadeva Goswami that as we hear the transcendental pastime of the Lord, we gradually cut the knots of material contamination. Therefore, regardless of what one is. If one wants the association of Lord Krishna in the transcendental kingdom of God for eternity in blissful existence, one must hear about the pastimes of Lord Krishna and chant the Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. The transcendental pastime of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna are so powerful that simply by hearing, reading, and memorizing this book, Krishna, one is sure to be transferred to the spiritual world, which is ordinarily very, very difficult to achieve. The descriptions of the pastimes of Lord Krishna is so attractive that it automatically gives us an impetus to study repeatedly. And the more we study the pastimes of the Lord, the more we become attached to Him. This very attachment to Krishna makes one eligible to transfer to his abode, Goloka Vrindavan. As we have learned from the previous chapter, to cross over the material world is to cross over the stringent law of material nature. The stringent laws of material nature cannot check the progress of one who is attracted by the spiritual nature. This is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita by the Lord Himself as follows. Quote, although the stringent laws of material nature are extremely very difficult to overcome, but one who surrenders unto the Lord can very easily cross over nations. Unquote. So there is no influence of material nature in the spiritual world. As we have learned from the second canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, the ruling power of the demigods and the influence of material nature are conspicuous by their absence in the spiritual world. Srila Sukadeva Goswami has therefore advised Maharaj Parikshit in the beginning of the second canto that every conditioned soul should engage himself in hearing and chanting the transcendental pastimes of the Lord. Srila Sukadeva Goswami also informed King Parikshit that previously many other kings and emperors went to the jungle to prosecute severe austerity and penances in order to go back home, back to Godhead. In India, it is still a practice that many advanced transcendentalists give up their family lives and go to Vrindavan to live there alone and completely engaged in hearing and chanting the holy pastimes of the Supreme Lord. This system is recommended in Srimad Bhagavatam, and the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan followed it completely. But at the present moment, many karmis and pseudo devotees had overcrowded the holy place of Vrindavan just to imitate this process recommended by Sukadeva Goswami. They built a big palaces and nice facility to live there. Vrindavan is getting commercialized. That's not the way to visit the holy places. We should take austerities and penances. It is said that many kings and emperors formerly went to the forest for this purpose. But Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur does not recommend that one take up this solitary life in Vrindavan prematurely. One, listen, this is very important. One who prematurely goes to Vrindavan to live in pursuance of the instructions of Sukadeva Goswami again fall victim to Maya, even while residing in Vrindavan. To check such unauthorized residence in Vrindavan, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur has sung a nice song in this connection, and the purport of which is as follows. Listen very attentively. Quote, "My dear mind, why are you so proud of being a Vaishnava?" Very bold. Your solitary chanting of the holy name of the Lord is based on a desire for cheap popularity, and therefore your chanting is only a pretense. Such an ambition for a cheap reputation may be compared to the stool of a hawk, because such popularity is another extension of the influence of Maya. Haribol. One may go to Vrindavan for cheap popularity, and instead of being absorbed in Krishna consciousness, one may always think of money and women, which are simply temporary source of happiness. It is better that one engage whatever money and woman he may have in his possession in the service of the Lord, because sense enjoyment is not for the conditioned soul. So when you visit the holy places, remember these instructions of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj. The master of the senses is Rishikesh, Lord Krishna. Therefore, the senses should always be engaged in his service. As for material reputation, there were many demons like Ramana who wanted to go against the laws of material nature, but they all failed. One should, therefore, not take to the demoniac activity of claiming to be a Vaishnava just for false prestige, without performing service to the Lord. But when one engages oneself in the devotional service of the Lord, automatically the Vaishnava reputation comes to him. There is no need to be envious of the devotees who are engaged in preaching the glories of the Lord. We have practical experience of being advised by the so-called Babajis in Vrindavan that there is no need to preach and that it is better to live in Vrindavan in a solitary place and chant the holy name. Such Babajis do not know that if one is engaged in preaching or in glorifying the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the good reputation of a preacher automatically follows one. One should not, therefore, prematurely give up the honest life of a householder to lead a life of debauchery in Vrindavan. Haribol. Srila Sukadeva Goswami's recommendations to leave home and go to the forest in search of Krishna is not for immature persons. Maharaj Parikshit was mature even in his householder life. From the very beginning of his life, he worshipped Lord Krishna's murti. In his childhood, he worshipped the deity of Lord Krishna. And later, although he was a householder, he was always detached. And therefore, when he got the notice of his death, he immediately gave up all connections with household life and sat down on the bank of Ganga to hear Srimad Bhagavatam in association of devotees. And that tree is so beautiful. That tree, it says that never any leaves fall down from the tree. And normally these banyan trees, they normally hang those, I don't know what they call the roots. And when the roots touch the ground, they became the trunk of the tree. But there where Shukadev Goswami spoke the Srimad Bhagavatam, we just visited and close to the Haridwar. That tree has no subroots, just one trunk big, and it's 150 feet across, very green. And you can still see so many parrots are still hearing the Krishna Katha at that place. And it says that the tree is 5,200 years old. And they say that this tree will eternally remain that green. All other trees, when they got old, they felt weak, and then they expand these roots to get strength. But it says that this tree is so young, very strong, it doesn't need no support. And that's why we see there is no other roots is touching the ground. Hardly you see any roots coming out of the branches. And that's wonderful, that one of the branch we saw that the deity of Ganesh appeared in the branch. Beautiful picture we have captured. And I think Sankarshan Prabhu has captured so many parrots and white owls sitting on the tree listening to Krishna Katha at this moment. Wonderful place to visit. So thus end. And the pujari over there is so kind. They allow you to touch the feet of the divine couple there, Krishna's feet. And they allow you to go inside the small little altar to touch the feet. He was very, very kind. So thus end the Bhaktivedanta purport of the 19th chapter of Krishna, summary description of Lord Krishna's pastimes. So now, from tomorrow, we will be reading the life and pastimes of dear Srila Prabhupada. I think that by hearing this wonderful, glorious life of Srila Prabhupada, we will really appreciate what Prabhupada has done for us. Unless we know all the details, how can we appreciate? Unless we know how much trouble Prabhupada went to establish this Hare Krishna movement, we will never be able to appreciate. And we will never be able to take up the process seriously. So I think it's our good fortune. We have read so many of our Acharya's lifetime. That's where we started this Zoom call. And then we read so many other different books. And my only desire was that I must read Srila Prabhupada Lilamrita. So from tomorrow, look forward for the transcendental life that person have lived in front of our eyes. So it's not that it is this process is only specific to some particular human being. It applies to all of us. And that is the reason Prabhupada takes so much austerity Just think about it. At old age, 70-year-old person comes to the Western world. And when we came at the Boston Harbor, he made the prayer, the Krishna, I don't know, these people are so busy driving the car here and there, but you know the purpose, why you have bring it over here. So utilize this fallen soul in your service. Whichever, I'm a doll in your hand. That's what Prabhupada took this position. And we see horrible, horrible time that these people who were taking the ganja and marijuana. Midnight, they were trying to kill Prabhupada, and he has to run to save his life. This is not easy to preach Krishna consciousness. We have to suffer in our life to set an example that despite all diversity and difficulties, we will remain steadfast as dear Srila Prabhupada did. That's why we need to read his life. Then we will see what is required to go back home, back to Godhead, not just by doing little service and feel, oh, we are doing okay. Once a week, do little seva, give little money, give little intelligence that Krishna has given, and feel satisfied, keeping our stomach always full. Even though we are not hungry, we eat 3 times a day. I don't know why. And that's why all the diseases comes in our body. But if we take austerities for the sake of Prabhupada and Krishna, we can see that this body has unlimited energy. As always, I say that we have not yet touched maybe not more than 9% of the energy that Krishna has given us in this body. 93% is untouched. Try to stay hungry. The Kartik month is there to take austerities. Reduce your intake, reduce your sleeping time, and see you will survive. So, look forward to see you tomorrow. If Krishna so desire, we'll see you at 2 o'clock. And it's so nice that, now at 2 o'clock by 2:10, at least 15 devotees are joining. That's very good. That's the only way we will be able to maintain our devotion to Krishna. That 6 hours of the morning time is just for Krishna, for nothing else. And then Krishna will be so kind. He will do everything else for us that we will never be able to repay him. He is so kind. So with those thoughts, let's end our session. I have to start packing my bag and see how I'm going to carry all these things. So the exercise will start from within half an hour, and it will go on a couple of days. Still I will have to collect some items. But it's so nice. I have never had the trouble carrying all these things. One time, and Houston custom officer told me, have you a imitated jewelry shop in Houston or what? And I said, no, sir. I don't have any jewelry shop. Radhanila Madhava is so kind. If we keep the faith in him, no obstacle comes. I have so many experiences in my life. So with those thoughts, brother and sister, enjoy the Kartik month. Let's dedicate our life, because every human life that we have come, we have missed it. For the same purpose, we try to make our materialist life little comfortable. That's all we are doing. We want to enhance our material possessions and our materialistic life. And that is totally against the principle of bhakti. So, unless and until we make a U turn, it's very, very difficult. And we will regret it so heavily. So heavily. So, let's keep this momentum. By your association, we are becoming stronger and stronger every day. And Krishna will give us what we need. Just depend on Him. When we don't show the dependency, what Krishna can do? If you don't give Him a chance to intervene in your life, how He can change the things for you? Sometimes take the risk for Krishna, as my Guru Maharaj told me. Start with 5%. So even though it doesn't happen, you don't lose anything. And then you will see Krishna reciprocate. Then you go 10%, 20%. And then you will feel, man, whatever difficulty come is so nice to take that austerity for Krishna. We should use this life for the pleasure of Krishna, nothing else. So let's try to remain steadfast, at least in the morning. 6 hours we should be very steadfast, and I think the only few days are left that we will be able to continue until 8 a.m. And on Saturday, definitely we will stay until 10, 10:30, 11, whatever time it takes to finish our 64 rounds. Thank you very much. Vanchakalpatarubhasya kripa sindhubhaya vacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Thank you very much for your kind association, and I'm really in debt for your kindness toward this most fallen and unworthy servant of the servant. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Prabhu.
So,
Hare Krishna.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare
Thank you
Krishna.
very much. Thank you, all of you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you very much. Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
I have a question.
Dandavat pranam,
Tomorrow
Prabhuji.
we'll be
Thank you so much.
reading the Lilamrita, Prabhupada Lilamrita. Is that correct?
Yes, yes.
The 7th volume, right?
So many volumes there, but I'm going to try to see that if I can find the online first volume. I hope that I will find one so we can continue from tomorrow. Krishna will make some arrangement. If we have a desire, Krishna always fulfills somehow or other. So we will be reading tomorrow. Yes, wonderful. Madan Mohan Kundu Prabhu, I can tell you, once we will finish it, we will, if you sincerely listen, we will become a strong devotees for sure.
I already read all 7 volumes.
Huh?
I already read 7 volumes.
7 volumes.
Yes.
So you are always a better devotee now, you know.
I do not know that, but
Yes.
I enjoyed it. It is very learning experience how he dealt with the daily life
Yes.
and all these situations.
Yes.
There is a good learning from everybody. It's a good learning.
Yes.
From everybody.
Yes. Thank you very much, Professor. Thank you. So I'm going to log off.